everyone. My name is Sherry, and today I want to present my app, WordNerd. WordNerd is a vocabulary app designed to provide easy access to words, definitions, and learning tools. Before we jump into the app, though, I want to introduce Jordan. Jordan is 32. She's from Dallas, and she's a practicing attorney. She's also fairly new to her line of work. Jordan wants to come off as confident when talking to clients and other professionals. She wants to understand what she's saying. She also wants to make sure that she's saying it correctly. She understands her clients are going through a pretty tough, stressful time, so she wants to make sure that they're confident in what she's doing. Like most young professionals, though, she's very, very busy. In the little downtime that she has, she likes to spend it with her husband and her dogs relaxing. So she doesn't have a lot of time for lengthy lessons. She needs something quick and easy to access. She also needs different ways of learning. She can't simply see a word and a definition to retain the information. So that's where WordNerd comes in. I believe that by creating a category-specific app with pre-programmed terms, easy-to-search functions, and visual and auditory learning tools, we can provide Jordan with a tool that allows her to easily learn vocab and use it with confidence. To start the process, I completed user flows. I took two specific tasks of the app and I laid out the process it would take to complete each task. From there, I moved to wireframing. I got the basic layout of the app and how it was supposed to function, and I moved to prototyping. And this is where the fun starts. For the initial prototype, I had users complete usability test. I asked them to complete 5 tasks, and I observed and listened as they did so. I found that the early prototype was everything but perfect. Not even close, really. What we found is, when it came to creating an account, there was no way of returning to the main screen. So, if you already had an account, you were kind of stuck. When searching for existing tasks, users felt a little guided. I made the mistake of not making all icons easy to use. So users only had the option to search for categories. It was a bit tough to see if they actually understood the process or just knew that that's where they had to click. When adding a deck, in order to create another deck, once you were finished with your current deck, you had to go to the home page and start the process over again. While it worked, it kind of created an awkward flow. Now, modifying deck, that was actually the hardest for all users. The modification option was in a weird place. It was hard to find, and users didn't understand how to access it. Once they did access it, users mentioned that the only modification they could make was adding a word. It would be nice if you could do more things to decks. The flashcard task. This was actually one of the easiest for users to complete. It was, from their words, a simple flow, very easy to understand process. The page itself, though, was a bit messy. Some of the icons did the same functions. Some of the functions didn't make sense. So the page itself could get a little confusing when you were on it. So I began with my improvements. Of course, I added a back button to the Create Account page. I made sure that all icons could be selected on the home page. This way I can actually test if users understand what each icon means, or if I need to make more improvements. And to the Create Deck option, I went ahead and made sure that once you were done with your current deck, it would give you the option to create a deck before going back home. Now the modified deck issue, since that was the biggest one, this is where I made the most modifications. I separated the modify deck from the create deck function. I also went ahead and added an onboarding screen, so it made sense to users on how to use it. And now users can add and remove words to make modifications. For the flashcard tool, I went ahead and cleaned up the screen a bit, so it was just a little more clear on how the process worked. My next steps will be more usability tests, making adjustments where needed, and of course doing this over and over until the product is where I need it to be. I'd also like to add additional learning tools to accommodate all learning styles. As a designer, I think we start to see our app as easy because we understand how the flow works. So we don't really see the flaws until we start the usability test. There's always room for of course, there's always room for improvements. And we as designers just have to be willing to test until we get the results we want. Thank you for taking the time to learn about my app. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.